Gentlemen, it is official now. We have the heavyweight championship fight that everybody wants to see. February 22nd, Deontay Wilder against Tyson Fury.
Welcome back, fight fans, to another video here on The Fight Game. The fight that the whole world wants to see is now finally happening. The fight billed is unfinished business. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 2. The rematch will be televised by Fox Sports and ESPN pay-per-view on February the 22nd, and BT Sports box office in the UK and Ireland.
The fight is happening. Deontay Wilder is as popular and as confident and as dangerous as he's ever been. Tyson Fury is as popular and as confident as he's ever been.
In one corner, we have the man who notoriously only needs to be perfect for 2 seconds. After knocking down every opponent he's faced, we've come accustomed to seeing Deontay Wilder score the knockout punch. In the opposing corner, we see a man who bears skills unseen by the common heavyweight. Tyson Fury's technicality is a rarity. His wit and carriage is among artifice.
Like I told him, I'm the lion, I'm the king of the jungle. And come February 27th, I'm gonna rip his head off his body.
Both fighters have a common draw after their showdown over 1 year ago. But now Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury have ascended into an epic clash of their own sovereignty. What was once before about determining who's the better athlete has now duly transpired into elucidating something to which they both atone. Who's the better man?
He's still fighting to this day. To this day!
Different looks, cause you can.
Their saga has merely evoked one another to reveal themselves. The jibe and tauntful nature of their build-up is simply one of the Institute of Boxing's many elements. Call it what you wish, the triumphant return of boxing's most garnished division, or simply another battle that's transpired into a worldwide affair.
Want him to meet me dead in the centre of the ring, let's have a slugfest. Best man stands up, loser goes down.
The super fight is fast approaching, and the boxing world has come to appreciate yet another marvel produced by boxing's eccentric tendency. These are two towering giants with ultimately tall orders, and each one with no less confidence than the other. They've been vocal and certain in their words and in their expressions, but when you get two of these fighters in the ring, you've got no idea what to expect. The physical preparation has been underway for weeks now. The mental foundation began long before. Welcome to this video here on The Fight Game, where we dissect the epic tale of Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury so far. Deontay Wilder has been long criticized for his boxing ability, but one would be foolish to call the man a novice.
That away, you see the movement, what you're doing before you throw, beautiful.
Making a prediction for this fight is as hard as any other 50-50 fight we've seen in the past. We know Wilder is predicting pain, and we know Fury is predicting pain in return. But of course, only one can be right. But if there's any man who can back up his words with ultimate undeniable proof, it's Deontay Wilder. He's commonly referred to his philosophy of speak it, believe it, receive it. And in 43 fights, he's yet to meet the man who won't fall to the power he holds. While his victories have been the product of his hands have always been the product of his belief system. Through visualization, Deontay Wilder has manifested his desires into reality, and a fitting consequence of this ritual has been an unwavering neck to power the mind. And if there was ever a fallback to rely on in a boxing ring, it's the unique aspect of being mentally stronger than an opponent. Wilder emits a distinctive aura. Of all the sports in the world, it is only in boxing where this aura can truly be a verity. It's not just destruction, it's eradication. The walk to the ring is no longer about garnering a victory, but about making a statement. The attire he wears is particular. It's not just about being a showman, but about being the show itself. It's been a long journey for Wilder, a journey which started 11 years ago when he had his first professional bout. But every boxer has his match, and Fury's journey started no more than a month later. Tyson Fury parted ways with his former trainer and is now signed with the more offensively orientated Sugar Hill. While there's no doubt both camps will be making major adjustments going into this rematch, the question comes of which camp will make the most changes, or perhaps which camp will make the most effective changes. Wilder needs little introduction nowadays. Everyone knows what he is capable of, a knockout evolved into reality in the matter of one single punch. But Fury does not shy away from Wilder, and while he gave Wilder the chance to win in 12 rounds, he's now extended that duration to 24 rounds. Their strengths play against each other, and watching both their opposing styles clash is a delight to watch for any boxing fan. How can we talk about a rematch without reviewing its preceding encounter? On December the 1st of 2018, the world saw an electrifying contest between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. While at the time we may not have anticipated the pure epicness of what this rivalry could entail, in the aftermath we now can take the time to appreciate the hype and excitement surrounding two of the most recognized heavyweight boxers in this modern era of sport and entertainment. We do all sorts of things on this channel. Sometimes we go all out to hype up a fight with world-class editing and narration, but other times we like to get deep into dissecting the technicality of what two boxers bring to the ring. You guys seem to enjoy both, so it's only right we do both. So now we're going to get deep into how their first meeting played out. First up is weight. I'm quite surprised how everyone overlooks weight in boxing when we're talking about the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division in boxing is contested at 200 plus pounds. That means if a boxer weighs above the 200-pound mark, he's a heavyweight boxer. Boxing rules state it's unfair for a 175-pound boxer to face a boxer who's 176 pounds. But as soon as you're above 200 pounds, it's okay for a boxer who's 201 pounds to face a boxer who's 301 pounds. In boxing, the heavier you are, the harder you hit. Deontay Wilder weighed in at 212.5 pounds, which was actually the lightest he has ever weighed since his professional debut. Fury weighed in at 256.5 pounds. Why did Wilder weigh in this low, you might ask? He might have deliberately cut weight to be quicker in cutting the ring off, as Fury's game plan would have been expected to be hit and move. But there's another possible scenario in the speculation that Wilder had actually fallen ill during training camp and had lost weight as a result. We don't and won't know the real reason, but the facts remain that Wilder in the ring that night was the lightest he ever was since his first fight 10 years prior. So as for one way Wilder can further his chances in knocking Fury out is by coming in heavier. Not too much heavier though. I definitely wouldn't want to see him heavier than what he was in the Ortiz rematch. Wilder weighed in at 219.5 pounds for that fight. I feel Wilder's golden range is between 212 pounds to 218 pounds. So when that weigh-in comes around, take close notice to what weight Wilder weighs in at. So while I expect Wilder to weigh in heavier this time around, I consequently expect Wilder to hit a lot harder too. As for the fight itself, we saw Wilder walk out wearing his crown and mask, which has come to be a tradition now in his ring walks. Fury came out to a bombacious custom-made remix. The arena was packed with Wilder and Fury fans, but what they didn't know was that they were about to witness the embarkation of one of the most significant heavyweight rivalries in recent memory. In most cases, not all, you can tell a lot about a fight by looking at the first round. So let's analyze the first round. The fight began with Fury and Wilder taking center stage. The first few moments in a boxing match can be critical to see who establishes dominance. After a few exchanges of the jab, Wilder would lean a clean right hand to the body. Right hands to the body are great to set up overhand rights. We saw this with Canelo versus Khan. Canelo landed right hands to the body all night, and the overhand right thrown knocked Khan out cold. But Wilder didn't have much patience, and he went straight for that overhand right in the subsequent combination, missing entirely and falling in. His plan for the overhand right was good, but perhaps a bit more patience would have got the job done. Because he went swinging so early, Fury was aware of how that overhand right was going to be thrown, and from that first round, subtle step back Fury would repeat the same maneuver all night long. However, as the first round went by, Wilder landed a few more shots as he got Fury into the corner, and then he showed a great display of his head movement. The most meaningful exchange of the first round would come in the last minute, however. As Wilder again got Fury to the ropes, he would get tied up. Fury then swapped the positions to have Wilder the one on the ropes. Watch how Fury does this. He puts his lead hand to Wilder's face as he steps around. This blocks Wilder's vision while also pushing his head back. He then took the lead hand away and replaced it with a right. I love this little move from Fury. Sometimes in a close fight, it's those little tricks that make all the difference. But with that score came overconfidence, and Fury got hit flush with a left hook. Considering Fury took 5 steps back while throwing 3 feints after this hook, I'm going to assume it stunned him for sure. After a bit of moving around, Wilder went straight for that massive overhand right again. Fury, already having telegraphed this overhand right earlier in the round, was able to avoid it pretty easily. Wilder made a massive mistake by doing that exact same move again right after. Technical boxers like Fury love it when you repeat a mistake, because the second time they know exactly how to capitalize on it. After that overhand right, Fury came back with his own attack. You can tell Wilder didn't expect to counter by looking at his feet, clearly unprepared and unsuspecting of any sort of attack from Fury. I won't analyze every round as you guys will probably get bored, but that's just a small glimpse of how the fight went. We saw mere hints of what Wilder's power is capable of with the 2 knockdowns, and we ultimately saw Fury's boxing skills throughout the entire fight as well. Matchups like these are intriguing because you get one guy trying to defuse another guy's strongest strengths, and the other guy trying to impose his will. It's no surprise that Deontay Wilder landed the least amount of power punches percentage-wise against Tyson Fury than anyone else in his career. For every 100 power punches thrown, he landed only 17. This is of course thanks to Fury's incredibly fluid herky-jerky style. Fury's style consists of him making unpredictable movements in inconsistent directions to avoid punches. And because of his height advantage over every opponent he's faced, this has worked out great for him. Fury did a great job staying off the straight line in this fight. He was constantly active with his head positioning because Wilder loves fighting an opponent who stands right in front of him. That way Wilder's main focus can be unleashing that right hand. But in the Fury fight, his main focus was trying to catch and cut down Fury, missing wildly, looking like someone trying to hold a fish out of water. There were some other great spots in the fight, such as at the end of round 4, we saw Wilder try some new angles to get Fury in a vulnerable position. However, game recognizes game, and Fury knew that Wilder was up to here. A lot of boxers made the mistake of trying to duck under the right hand while underestimating how close it is, and end up being caught.
Of his knockout. Oh! Charlo just dropped Lubin!
Fury realized this last second and jolted upwards instead of downwards, protecting himself from a potentially vicious right hand from Wilder. This was a fantastic sequence of high-level boxing from both boxers. To truly appreciate someone's punching power, you have to look at those who felt it firsthand. David Haye, who sparred with Wilder before, was open in discussing about how he feels about it.
I truly think he's the hardest punching heavyweight ever. I got hit by Wilder in sparring, and I've been hit by Vladimir Klitschko on the chin with 10-ounce gloves. There was more effect from Wilder hitting me on the top of the head with 18-ounce gloves on, me wearing a head guard, and it wasn't even clean, it was just glancing. I felt that more.
Fury himself has been vocal about how dangerous it is to be in the ring with Wilder, but with his incredible power, Wilder was still unable to keep Fury nailed to the canvas past the count of 10. Now, many fans have been vocal about it being longer than 10 seconds, and while I understand everyone's thought process, it's not a 10-second rule, it's a 10-count rule. For those who are unfamiliar with how it works, here it is. When a boxer is knocked down, the timekeeper at the side of the ring starts counting as soon as any part of the body other than the feet hit the canvas. The timekeeper has their hands visibly raised and counts each second with their fingers. In this time, the opponent must go to the furthest neutral corner, and as this is happening, the referee then looks to the timekeeper. Then the referee continues the count at his own pace. The speed of which this count is made is up to the referee. While it may have been a long count, it wasn't an illegal count. As far as the result goes, I think a draw is fair because it means we get to see it again. Whether you think Wilder won or Fury won doesn't matter, because that's why we have rematches, to make sure there are no questions about the victor. I really don't know who's going to win this fight. I expect Wilder to be a lot more patient this time, but Fury seems to be saying he's going to knock out Wilder in the second round. I'm not sure if I believe Fury. He can be a little crazy sometimes. I actually do think that Fury has got the power to knock Wilder out though. Honestly, any heavyweight can knock one another out if a shot lands sweet on the jaw. Power means nothing if you don't have a means of landing it on the target though, so Wilder is definitely going to have to be more calculated this time around. Who do you guys think is going to win? Will Wilder find that punch he's been looking for, or will Fury keep him at bay for another 12 rounds? Or will we see the complete opposite in Fury winning by knockout or Wilder by decision? I suppose stranger things have happened in the sport of boxing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like as it helps us grow the channel. We'll see you in the next video here on The Fight Game.